My name is Mahalia Washburn. I am a chaplain's wife. My husband works for Advent Health. I consider myself and my family to have a very strong commitment to ministry and to church, and tried to live the best life that I could live in my faith. I've been married for 17 years now. For the first 10, I didn't get that opportunity to become pregnant. So even though I trusted God and we trusted God to choose that right time for us to have a child, it took like 10 years to have one. And there was a part of me that just in the back of my mind told myself, even if maybe just have one child, one healthy one, that would be, enough. Mm-hmm. And so I asked God, if He could just give me one, that would be enough. And so after 10 years, I got pregnant, and we were very happy. Everything went well during my pregnancy, and we anticipated the time when we would see him. But during labor and delivery, Luke and I almost died. We had an infection, and unfortunately Luke had significant injuries and he didn't come out unscathed. That experience for me and my husband were very traumatic. At the last few hours of his birth, the doctors decided they were going to have an emergency section, and while they were wheeling me into the operating room, I heard them say, "We are losing the mom and the baby." And my husband said, "Really, Lord, I'm going to lose my son and my wife tonight," in the back of his head. While I was laying on the operating table, I felt really, really cold, and I was just, I was aware of it, but I was feeling very, very cold, and I knew that there was something wrong. When they took Luke out, he wasn't crying, and I was asking them, "Why isn't my baby crying?" I was expecting that loud, strong cry, but he wasn't. I felt like I wanted to go to sleep, but Eric just kept tapping me and told me, "Please don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep. You have to try to wake up." He told me later on that my blood pressure was going too low. He needed me to wake up and make sure that I didn't fall too low in that blood pressure scale. They wheeled me back to the hospital room, to my room, and they told me that my son was very sick, and I was wondering why. What do they mean about sick? Did he have any congenital diseases or conditions that I didn't know of? And they said, "No, your child is just very, very sick." And I was just like in and out of anesthesia, so I couldn't really ask too many questions. I was highly drugged up. They told me later on in the evening that my child was dying and they couldn't get his oxygen level up, and I couldn't understand why this was happening. And they told me he has an infection. He couldn't breathe, so they couldn't really oxygenate him properly, and they wanted me to sign consent to put him into ECMO, which is the last resort. That same weekend, I was anticipating to have a baby, and Sunday I was expected for him. I expected to have a dead one. All the chaplains came. My husband, asked for prayer, and all the chaplains came on a Sunday, and all our church prayed for him that Saturday, for us that Saturday. And all of Advent Health, our friends in Advent Health, prayed for us. They told one of the chaplains to prepare me to not have a live baby that day. All the chaplains came before they were gonna withdraw him from his ECMO, because he brain bled in ECMO. They came to pray for him and us while they were withdrawing life support. But he kept breathing, so he kept breathing and breathing and breathing, and we were just waiting to see if he was gonna live or die. I've experienced God, and that I understand his heart and his love for us. I mean, his children that are maybe broken, disobedient, not as he wanted us to be, imperfect, broken. I think I understand how much he loves us, that he would do anything to fix it. You know, if he could give his life, he would. And if I could trade my life for my child's life, I think I would have done that. But, you know, I can't really. That's not my choice to make. When you're going through a very difficult time in your life, your faith is going to be challenged. But I would encourage all the women today to hang on to their faith. And it's okay to be angry. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to have that dialogue with God. But it's also okay to not give up on your faith, not give up on your family, not give up on the promises that He has for you and for your family, because God is always good. I don't think He's changed. And to embrace your pain and your struggles. And it's also a great opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to really have a deeper relationship with God, to prove how strong you are with Him. Embrace your pain and not run away from it.